A deserted railway station. This has been a typical scene in Britain for 4 months now. Since late March, the country has been in lockdown. In other words, people have not been allowed to go to work. Most shops, apart from food shops, were closed from the 23rd of March until the middle of June. All this was caused by coronavirus, or the COVID-19 pandemic. During the lockdown, life changed for many people. Of course, for those who work in essential services such as doctors, nurses and food shop workers, life did not change very much. But for those described as non-essential workers, there was an unexpected holiday. This was called furlough, which for many people in Britain is an unfamiliar word. It is spelt F-U-R-L-O-U-G-H. They receive 80% of their salary, and the rest is expected to be made up by their employer. These people were expected to stay at home and were allowed to go out only for essential medical care or to buy food. This lockdown has been accepted by the majority of people in this country. This can be seen from some of the videos that I took when I went out to do some essential shopping. Of course, this is a pandemic. It has affected the whole world, not just Britain. Some countries have suffered worse than others. The first country to be affected badly in Europe was Italy. When the situation there began to get a little better, Spain suffered the same fate. A little later, Britain went the same way. As I speak, on the 20th of July, over 45,000 people in Britain have lost their lives to this virus. It has been a worldwide tragedy, both for those who have suffered from this virus, and many people have died, but also for their families. It is difficult to make comparisons between different countries. One reason for this is that the way records are kept vary from one country to another. In addition, some countries do not wish to damage the reputation of their own country. For the first 2 or 3 months, there was very little activity in Britain. All sporting events were cancelled, as well as cinema and theatre performances. The football season was put on hold and only resumed last month, June, but there was nobody in the stadium to watch the matches. Slowly, very slowly, things have begun to improve. Garden centres, which are mostly outdoors, were among the first non-essential businesses to open. Now, other non-essential businesses, such as hairdressers and furniture shops, are able to open. Among the places which are still not allowed to open are sports centres, nightclubs and beauty salons. This pandemic is something that I have never experienced in my lifetime. There was, however, a similar pandemic just over 100 years ago. In Britain, this was called the Spanish flu pandemic and started in 1918. The name is unfortunate because the pandemic did not start in Spain. However, at that time, most of Europe was preoccupied with the First World War, and there was censorship in many countries. Spain, however, was not involved in the conflict, and they were free to report it. Throughout the whole of human history, in fact, there have been pandemics. Most people agree that the worst pandemic in history was the Black Death, which took place around the year 1350. About half the population of Europe died at that time. Nowadays, in the 21st century, most people thought that pandemics like these were far in the past. We were unprepared. It is hoped that a cure for this disease will soon be found. All over the world, many scientists are working hard to find a cure. I myself am sure that by early next year there will be at least one antidote. However, I am sure that there will be lasting effects. Perhaps it may mean the end of shopping in the traditional sense. People will become more accustomed to shopping online. Also, many people will find that it is not necessary to go into the office every day. People may find that they can work equally effectively when they work from home. It may also take quite a long time for people to be confident in going back to restaurants. However, the human race is very adaptable, and I am sure that we will, as a species, bounce back from this disaster. The air in many cities is now much cleaner because there are far fewer cars on the road. Who knows? This pandemic may, to use a common saying, be a blessing in disguise. Thank you very much for watching the video, and if you liked it, give it the thumbs up. And perhaps you could consider pressing the subscribe button. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.